What's up team, how's it going? Here we are with a new video. The UK ready to fight Russia tonight if Europe invaded, says Army Chief. This was released a couple of days ago. This is his statement. Are we ready to fight Russia? Well, let's see what he's got to say.
The Secretary of State has offered a classified briefing on this. The first point I would make is that if the British Army was asked to fight tonight,
yes,
it would fight tonight. And I don't think anybody in this room should be under any illusion that if the Russians invaded Eastern Europe tonight, then we would meet them in that fight. That would be the first point I'd make. Secondly, and as we go through the classified briefing, can we sit here and say that 3 UK division carries no operational risk whatsoever? Of course not. There are a range of operational risks and operational strengths associated with that division, and that is exactly what the Strategic Defence Review is addressing. We've spoken at this committee before about a munitions strategy and a munitions plan. We know we need more lethality. We haven't been secret about that. The Secretary of State has talked about stepping up some of those joint enablers that we need to do. So, of course, there are areas that we're addressing through the SDR. But my third point would be critical to responding is ensuring that we can respond and adapt. And the ability to respond and adapt absolutely lies at the heart of our industrial strategy. And we're seeing this playing out in Ukraine. It's the ability for Ukraine itself and those allies of Ukraine that can respond and provide whatever they need, or in our case, whatever the alliance needs in the case of a major conflagration with Russia, is able to have the industrial strength to respond. And that is why so much of what we're doing is through the SDR, and what we've done up to the SDR is about absolutely embedding a sovereign industrial base and an allied industrial base as well, because the situation changes on the ground, as you well know.
So, he says they are ready to fight tonight. We'll break this down a bit. We'll go through some of the comments on this video as well, because I didn't find one positive one. So he says they are, if Russia invaded Eastern Europe, we would meet them. Okay, there's a lot of comments saying, no, I won't. We'll have a look at this. Have a look at some of these. As long as the Labour MPs and their kids go first, 1 inch of snow fell today and half of the UK shut down, ready to fight. Don't make me laugh. If we get a bit of snow, the UK can't handle it. Fools who don't learn from history are destined to repeat itself. Here you go. As an ex-British soldier, I won't be fighting for this government. The UK couldn't fight its way out of a paper bag. I'm a proud ex-para and have seen the very sad demise of the Brit Army. It's the weakest it's ever been. It's going to be hilarious to see how the top brass will announce their call to arms. We can't even stop boats from France coming in illegally here every day, let alone fight the Russians. And it's just on and on and on and on. Okay. They're all the comments. What I do get he's saying, but let me finish the whole video before you start commenting. If Russia invaded Eastern Europe today or tonight, we would meet them and we would fight. There's no doubt in that, okay? That would happen. They will call them up, whether that's 16 Air Assault Brigade, the Rapid Response, the Marines, or I think it's 3 Div. They would be called up straight away. They're on readiness. They are good to go. I don't know what notice they're on, whether it's 24 hours, 5 days. There will be some sort of readiness on a 24-hour notice to move. I would have thought. More than likely, if anyone goes first, it'd be 16 Air Assault Brigade, followed by like 3 Div or Marines. But they will send them. Whether we're ready is another matter. Yes, we're ready in a small contingent. Yes, we could go in, take over an airport or some sort of landing strip, get an airport, secure that, push out a little bit so we can bring supplies in. That's what's going to happen first. What we couldn't do is take on Russia ourselves. We are not ready. We don't have the size. As we know, we're low on recruitment, we're low on retention. The numbers are low. We're around 72,000 as a whole regular serving members. But remember, tip of the spear, fighting infantry troops, followed by like artillery, engineers, etc. So fighting troops, very small, 16 Air Assault Brigade, if you call them up, 2 para, 3 para, I think it's the Royal Irish and possibly Gurkhas, 400 to 600 in a battalion each, and then you got your support arms following up. So it's not many. We can't put 20, 30,000 fighting troops on the ground ready to go. So we would have to go in with, NATO support, US, other NATO countries. But they will go in. They will call them up. If they were invaded, if we were attacked, no doubt about it, they will go. But whether we're ready to fight on our own, no, we're not. The other issue you've got is I don't know if it'd be the same as when Afghan kicked off. When Afghan kicked off, recruitment went through the roof. People wanted to join. People wanted to go and fight. With this, I don't think the numbers would be the same. I don't think you'd get the ex-guys joining, and you wouldn't get sort of any newer people joining. I don't think a war would change the numbers as much as it did in Afghan. What they would do though is it properly kicked off. Reserves would get called up, and obviously all the ex-guys like myself, who are still young enough, would get called up. Then they would go to conscription, national service, and then call up all sort of fighting age personnel ready to go next. People laugh at this, and I do get it. He says we've still got to work on lethality. We're not hiding that. We have. I've just done a video on artillery. Yes, we've got regiments with the light gun, but we've just got rid of all of our AS-90s. We've got 14 Archer systems. That's it. We've only got 14 howitzers. Boom. So we've got no major artillery support. We've just got, we're decommissioning, and they're not serviceable anyway, the landing platform dock ships. So HMS Bulwark and Albion, they're now gone. So the Royal Marines, couldn't go in through the Baltic Sea and do an amphibious assault. They can't do that, or they can't come around the north because we don't have that capability anymore. We don't have the size and strength to really meet Russia head on ourselves. So I get what people are saying. And the other issue is, I think, not just the Labour Party as well, the Conservatives over the years have broken down the military, broken down the people's confidence, that they wouldn't just go up and fight. You saw it in the comments. So the UK will be ready to go and fight because they will be told to, but on their own, will they be ready to fight and win? Size-wise, no. Professionalism, skills, tactics, the ability in soldiers, yes. But the amount of numbers of personnel and equipment, no, we are not ready. We are not ready. And the issue is you've really broken down the people's confidence. You're going to struggle to get those numbers up without conscription national service. But we go into World War III, you're getting called up no matter what anyway. You're going to have to go. We're in a war. Everyday life's not going to be normal anyway. So you're just going to have to go and fight anyway. But yeah, I get what people are laughing at. I get what people are saying. But at the end of the day, those that are currently serving, if they get called up, they're on their 24 hours notice to move, 3 days notice to move, 5 days notice to move. Their kit will be ready packed. They will be on a plane, boat, whatever it is, and they will go. So the UK will meet Russia, but we will need NATO support. But if Eastern Europe got invaded, the US will meet them. You're going to have Finland, Sweden, Norway, Germany, and all those other nations will come in and support anyway. I would have thought, but yeah, we're not ready ourselves. So there's that. But yeah, some of those comments were absolutely brilliant. Yeah, absolutely hilarious. But yeah, that's what they're saying. And I think they are preparing for that. Tensions are extremely high, especially after the authorization of the ATACMS and the Brits Storm Shadow missiles being launched into Russia. And President Putin of Russia making the warning, the threat, whether he's bluffing or not, we then have to now stand there and say, who's got bigger balls? Who's going to back down first? And if neither one wants to back down, the UK will be sent. whether they're ready or not, whether we have the kit and equipment. We've got the kit and equipment, it's just whether we got the numbers of it. So yeah, that's the case of it. So I wanted to break that down. You know, people saying, you know, I'm not going to go, we're not going to go, we're not ready. They are ready, they're on standby, but whether they're ready as a whole, large enough, lethality wise, professionalism, yes, and that, but number wise, no. But thanks for watching. Check out the original video in the description. Like, share and subscribe to stay updated with all future videos. Please comment below what your thoughts are. I do like to read them and try and comment back to as many as I possibly can. Constructive ones as best as possible. Let me know if you agree with me or not. But yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.